प्राण प्रवाह हो तुम, श्वास श्वास हनुमान, सो हम है जो हो तुम, सो हम हैं जो हो, हृदय बसहि हनुमान, हृदय बसहि हनुमान, हृदय बसहि हनुमान। प्राण प्रवाह हो तुम, श्वास श्वास हनुमान, तो हम है जो हो तुम, तो हम हैं जो हो तुम, हृदय बसहि हनुमान, हृदय बसहि हनुमान, हृदय बसहि हनुमान। प्राण प्रवाह हो तुम, श्वास श्वास हनुमान, सो हम हैं जो हो तुम, सो हम हैं जो हो तुम, हृदय बसहि हनुमान, हृदय बसहि हनुमान, हृदय बसहि हनुमान।
नमस्कार पवन जी, हाउ आर यू?
नमस्ते। आई एम वेल।
गुड टू नो। आप नोएडा में हैं आजकल?
बिल्कुल, कल ही आए हैं।
वेरी गुड।
परसों, सॉरी।
हाँ, घर पे सब ठीक?
सब ठीक, सब मजे में है। ऑल वेल।
ग्रेट।
आई एम हियर फॉर कपल ऑफ डेज, तो आपको कॉल करेंगे, विल
हाँ,
कोऑर्डिनेट
ऑफ
समथिंग
कोर्स।
फॉर दिस वीक।
यस।
तो लवली, ये तो एक तो सोनिया जी हैं और एक ये काब्स आईफोन के कौन है? आई वुड नॉट नो दैट, लेकिन चलिए, बहुत अच्छा है। Namaste to all of us. Here we are. It's our time for our weekly Zoom in. Nivaji has also joined in. Let us spend just 1 minute for a quick tune in, and then we will proceed. We bring our awareness to the flow of our breath very gently, settle into the rhythm of inhalation and exhalation, relax and enjoy. Fantastic. Om, om, om. So we know we have to keep on saying the same thing, reminding ourselves again and again about why or what our journey actually is. So our understanding is very clear, very um, clean and clear that all that is there is only consciousness, Brahman. This we learn from the Upanishad. Everything, everything is the same Brahman, same Paramatman, which has not only that, including our bodies, including the material bodies, trees, butterflies, everything is is the same Brahman taking shape. Just as, just as when we dream, in the dream, all the characters of the dream, all the places of the dream, the rivers, the mountains, the snakes, all the items, all the beings, all the things, and all the feelings, the feeling of excitement, sadness, sorrow, grief, shrieking, laughing, dancing, all of that also. All the stuff of the dream is nothing but myself. But they all look different. And in the dream, we say, there was a butterfly and I was chasing the butterfly. It went into a hole and suddenly I saw a woman standing there. The woman, the butterfly, the hole, all of that is me, myself. That is the closest we can understand how each one of us, each one of us, and each and everything around us is made up of that stuff called Brahman. Yes, in different schools, in the Shaivite school, it will be called the manifestation of Shiva as Brahman. Brahman manifesting, named as Shiva, and Shiva then finally permeating the whole creation. The Vaishnavas will call Narayan permeating the whole creation. The Shakta, those who follow the Shakti tradition, they will say it's the splendor of the mother. She is everything like that. But whatever it is, without naming it, we have just to keep it simple that there is one entity of which we are all formed. And that's, we have to arrive at a realization of that. A very close and a very common and probably the only repetitive example given in Vedantic texts is that about the earthen pot, matka, ghada, ghat. It says ghat. So here most is there Emma? Okay, Emma is there, so I will refrain using Hindi words. So we talk of pot, and the earth, the clay of which the pot is made, the clay and the pot. Now, the goal is that the pot finds the clay. Are you with me? The pot realizes or understands or finds the clay. That's the goal. The pot thinks, I'm a pot. Likewise, a lamp, an earthen lamp will think, I'm a lamp. Where is the clay? The question is, a pot and a clay, are they two different things? Can you take the clay out of the pot? You can still take the pot away from the clay. The pot can be broken. The clay will still be there. So as long as the pot identifies itself as a pot, it has its ego. I'm a big pot. I'm a small pot. I'm filled with water. I will be filled with milk. I'm filled with ghee. The pot consciousness. And I have to look for clay. I have heard there is a stuff of which all the pots and everything is made. Where is that? So as long as I'm in the pot consciousness, I am born, I am made, then since I'm made, I also get destroyed, and all the fears and all the egos come into play. But the moment I realize I am a clay, a pot is just an expression. One day I become a pot, sometime down the line, I might be crushed again and become the same clay and turn into something else, or get into give birth to a tree or do anything else. But the clay never dies. The pot is born and dies, and therefore all the fears and emotions that are tagged with that. So for the pot to realize that it is clay is as simple or as easy as it is for each one of us to realize Aham Brahmasmi. I am the Brahman. I know that I am, but I don't get it. The form is coming in the form is coming in the way. And the whole of Sri Vidya, knowledge I have got that I am Brahman. I am Brahman. I am the same stuff that Paramatman is made up of. Same. I am the ocean. All this I know already. Not only I am the ocean, so are you, so is he, so is she, so is the tree, so is everything. But I don't get it. I only hear it as a parrot's uh, speaking. It is not my personal realization. So, for the pot to find the clay, the method, the Google map from a pot to find the clay is what is Shiv Vidya. All those practices lead into realization, personal, authentic, absolutely authentic, personal realization that I am the Brahman. So that is how Sri Vidya is. So that's point number one. The point number two is that the pot is finding the clay. Now let us first find out what this pot what this pot is made up of. And am I the pot in the first place? I am neither the pot nor the clay. That will be the next realization. But in understanding or in getting a more intimate understanding of ourselves, that is one thing, understanding itself, leading to a more fulfilling and an intimate relationship with our own self first, ourself. To get a fulfilling relationship with ourself, to be able to get a handle on our own mind. We want our spouses to be according to our mind. We want our children according to our mind. We want our jobs, our wealth according to our mind. We want the leaders of the nation according to our mind. We want the country, the condition according to our mind. But is our mind according to our mind? Because we don't have a handle. We don't have a handle to get there. So to realize more intimately ourselves, to have a deeper, more intimate connection with ourselves, a more loving, more intimate, more loving, more beautiful, more fulfilling relationship with myself in the first, a deeper understanding. I understand myself better. For that, we need to first turn our gaze inward and begin to not unpeel, but certainly uncover the layers that we have learned that we are made up of. We have learned we are made up of 5 layers or 5 sheets, and that there is also a layer in which uh, in which I have certain nodes of energies where energy transmits from where energy transmits urges and impulses which lead on to manifestations and things like that. I have a certain electrical energetic circuit. I have a certain material makeup, then I have a certain pranic sheath and things like that, and an intelligent sheath. All of this we know, but we do not encounter them. We do not touch them. We in our day-to-day life. But for us on this path of Sri Vidya, as we were discussing a couple of times in the past, also last time, that the Sri Chakra basically represents at one layer the five elements. That's the first fundamental uh, uh, um, information embedded in it. And we need to have a deep resonance with these five elements. Not only resonance, but a loving resonance. And before we even, so today I was planning we'll pause a little bit, have a little conversation, and then we'll straight away spend most of our time today in myself sharing and speaking for all of us. I will keep uttering and guiding, so-called, but it's a dialogue that we will be having with our own layers in a loving way, arriving into a certain understanding or a certain introduction to the five tattvas and the five sheaths and the six energy centers, energy bodies, and energy vortices or the chakras as a practical grasp. So that we'll be doing. One thing before I pause is that I find out of in the English language, like in Hindi language, there are many words or many Sanskrit. In Sanskrit, there are many words which cannot be translated in its spirit, in totality, into English. We all know it. In English, there is a mantra which, yes, we can translate, but it doesn't carry the same spirit as it is in English. It's a mantra in English, and we need to, if we are meditating inside in English language, or even if we are meditating inside and having a self talk in Hindi language or Marathi language, but if we know this mantra in English, I will highly recommend to use that mantra. And that mantra is, I love you. So when you come to a point where you are face to face, you have invoked the presence of Hanuman. Lala, I love you. I love you. Say 2, 3 times. There is no I love you, I love you, I love you. Next, Shiva, I love you, I love you. This is not what we have to say. We have to put our whole presence and emotions in it. In whichever form, once the mother is in our has manifested herself in our mind, Ma, I love you. Before even starting the mantra, the Kaila mantra or whatever mantra, however wish by, I see you are agreeing with me, because that is the emotion anyway which that comes
It
up.
has been my constant practice since the
Yes,
beginning that
yes,
it's always moisturized. And I tell, looking at Sri Chakra, or even if I'm in there, I just said, Ma, you know I love you.
I love you. Yes,
And second thing I say is that, and I know exactly how much you love me.
yes,
That's the two things I always. It ends up with that, and it is very. It's an ecstasy which cannot be explained.
yes. So as a personal, we cannot, what we are sharing here cannot be really spoken in general terms. People may not understand it, what we are trying to say. But even when we are tuning in with with the tattvas, with our different bodies, prana, I love you. I love you for being here. Wow. It is for you. It is because of you that I am breathing. I am even thinking. Prana shuts off, mind goes. Actually, the best way, so-called, to not to control, but to cajole or to take the mind in your arms is by the embrace of prana. As there is no way you can hold the mind other than by these two breaths. Imagine these two breaths to be the arms in which you're holding the mind like that, and your mind will calm down. If you think it is like a baby which is rattling, or a monkey, and you're taking that monkey in your arms, but the arms are made up of prana. No, there's no physical arm. How will you hold the mind in this arm? And there's no other arm. The arm of intellect will not hold the mind. Mind is more powerful than the intellect, actually. Intellect is more powerful, but how we have over lifetimes of conditioning and prarabdha, mind has taken more power. And it's only prana that can take the mind in its embrace. So, I love you is the mantra that we have to use anywhere where there is a pause, where we come in front of the entity, genuinely, authentically. We come in front of our pranic presence. We come in front of our mind. Oh, my mind, I love you. But who is that I who is saying, I love you? Is the question. But let's not go so much into it. Yes, you can say it's the consciousness which is saying it. It is the higher mind which is saying it. It is the metacognition, the metacognitive. It's a quality of the mind to be metacognitive. That means being able to observe its own self in one circular realm. So happy to see Agnes join in today after such a long time. Welcome, Agnes. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Pawan. I'm trying to deepen again.
Yes, a good time that you have joined in. Today we have been in the last few days talking about the five elements and how we can tune into that, what they stand for. I had posted it also in the group. You can look at it. It's easy. You know, all of us know everything about everything. So we are just together having a little fun, hanging in together and practicing and tuning into our higher, deeper, intimate self together. That's all. So I'll pause here in case there is a comment. Please come forward. Otherwise, we will enter into our contemplative practice. I cannot call it meditation, contemplation, contemplative practice. We'll do that. In the meantime, we all know, let us take a very comfortable position. Ideally, keep our back straight. Ideally, not to take a back rest, but I have a backache, so I'm taking a back rest. But not to take a back rest if you're healthy. But if you're not, then if your back is tired, then you can take a back rest. Relax, relax enough that you are totally relaxed, but you may not fall asleep. This is what I would recommend, not to fall asleep during the process. But even if you fall asleep, so what? Whenever you wake up in between, if you do, um, just continue from wherever you start listening. So, mm, and what I'm sharing is only an example. What will happen is, with this example, it's just an example. It could be any other way. So each one of us, the only point that I want to make is that on a daily basis, to find 5-10 minutes or as much time to embrace ourselves. Today, Urvesh Bhai has posted a writing on self-love. I think you have posted an article on that. We are going much beyond that. Of course, the word will be, what other word to use than self-love, but we are going a little bit deeper into it. We are taking our parts, we are understanding our constituent reality at the material level, the constituent reality at the material level, and we will then that will help us develop the skill to self-observe. One more thing which came to my mind the other day, when we go to bed, much of the practice that we will share today, we can do even when we are going to bed. After the lights have been switched off, instantly we don't fall asleep. So instead of tiring ourselves with a Insta or social media, better to have some amount of mental capacity, 5-10 minutes of it, that we can practice what we are going to practice today. In that, I just want to say one thing. In Hindi, the word for bed is bistar. We have heard that, we know that. In Hindi, the word for bed is bistar. And I realized that it is so close, it is almost a cognate of the word vistar. Vistar means to expand, expanded, expansion. And bistar means the bed. Now, how are you expanding in the bed? It shows that while we are about, while we are around and about, we are driving around in this body. But when we land into bed, that is the parking spot for this car, for this chariot. We put the chariot. Imagine a driver sleeping in the car. Whenever we go, whenever we travel to Badrinath, and the drivers, to save money, they say we'll sleep in the car itself. But I always make sure that they sleep in a room. Sleeping in the car, can you imagine sleeping in the car? But all of us, by default, we go into bed, we get tired, we knock out, and we sleep in this consciousness. So we wake up also in the same consciousness. But if we go to bed, park this body in the bed, nicely cover it with a blanket, like we put a cover on the car, and then the driver, I, goes into the expanded home of expansion. It stretches itself. Until then, it is constrained by the conscious mind, by the senses, by this small body material, by the rules of nature and prakriti, all the rules. We are in a confinement. But when in bed, you leave this uh, element, this instrument that has caged us, or not caged us, has carried us, but is restricting. You leave it there, and we arrive into a state of vistar. So there is a way to arrive into that state of vistar. It can go step by step. Even out of the car, how you step out, you just don't bump out of the car. You take full cognition, whether the light is off, whether this is off, the gear is in parking gear, whether the parking gear has been, handbrake has been pulled up, have you left anything inside the car? Once again, you look at the back, anything, if any. All of that we do, even when we get out of the car. Same, when we get out of body consciousness, we will go in a certain sequence. We'll go out into the expanded. But today, when we are practicing, when we will be practicing what we do today, we will not be going too out. We will still be in the car. There's no, we are not, that is phase 2 of getting out. Phase 1 is realize that I am not the car. I'm observing every part, every constituent thing that makes up for the car. I was on the driving seat driving it, but I'm not the car. This understanding that I'm not the car, I'm not the chariot, this has to be reinforced while laying in bed, at least once a day. And you don't have to take any extra time for this practice. So before I begin, I will pause again. Any comment or any thought that comes to you, please, please, please share. So let us prepare for this a gentle meeting with our own self. Be very comfortable. If you're feeling cold or whatever, take a shawl, relax, relax. Let's gently bring our awareness to where we are. Urvesh Bhai has written, I am the potter and the clay. I mold my way, sitting on the wheel of time, forge rigid identity in the fire of ignorance. Very, very powerful. Urvesh Bhai, you have called ignorance as the fire, whereas normally fire is indicated as knowledge. But you are right. Here it's in the fire of ignorance, in the fire of, let's say, the knowledge that I am this body. I form it up. It is so strong that the pot continues to look for the clay, if at all. Some pots don't look for the clay at all. They just think I'm a pot, full stop. And the big thing is, suppose you have a knife, you have a plow, you have a sword, you have a nail, all have iron in it or steel in it. How much of steel is there in a sword? How much of steel is there in a nail? Is there any less of steelness in a nail and less of steelness in the sword? It's the same. Exactly how is there any less of you in the tree or the mountain in your dream, or the scorpion or the snake, or any less of you in who was walking with you or yourself? No. Everywhere the same, exactly the same intense presence of you in every character of your dream. Exactly the same 100% steel in a nail, 100% Brahman in an ant, in a butterfly, in a fruit, in a human being. 100% presence. So we have heard about it through our understanding, and our minds are now curious to know the clay. So we are those set of people who are those pots who want to know the clay. Therefore, this practice. Okay. Let's gently close our eyes and let's have a very informal journey into our inner space. At the very beginning, very, very beginning, even before we start this, we observe ourselves seated. I will now speak in first person so that the voice applies to each one. So even before I begin to go inward, right in the beginning, I invoke the presence of my Guru, because of whom I have got to know that I am truly the clay, pot is only the form, because of whom my journey to find the clay has been begun. My desire to find the clay has been ignited. Hari Om. Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जन शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परम ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। Gurudev, I love you. Hold my hands as I enter into myself. Om Ganaganapatiye Namaha. O Ganapati, be with me. Walk ahead of me as I walk within. I encounter my physical body. I'm aware of my physical body from the top of my head to the tip of my toes of my legs to the tip of the fingers of my hands. I am fully aware of my body. I'm aware of my head, the neck that holds the head, on the shoulders, my torso, my two legs. I'm aware of my skin, of the muscles under my skin, of the muscles that tie together with my bones, the skull, the whole of my spine, the pelvis, two legs, two hands, fingers, the collarbone, the rib cage. I'm aware of all the organs of my body working. The heart has been beating even before I was born in my mother's womb, and it beats. My lungs, my liver, stomach, intestines. Nerves, network of nerves, miles and miles and miles of nerves wrapped around organs in my body. Thousands of miles of veins and arteries wrap around. I'm aware. My heart is beating more than one time. "72 times in 60 seconds. More than one time per second. It beats. And it pauses and it beats. I'm aware of all the processes happening in my body simultaneously: digestion, elimination, absorption, breaking down of nutrients in the liver, in the cells, sugar metabolism, lipid metabolism, all, all the glands secreting, all the neurons firing, all. I'm aware of 70 trillion cell beings that make for this body. And I'm aware of 700 trillion guest cells, bacteria, fungus, allergens, microbes, microorganisms, viruses. My body is home for them. All of this, all the cell beings, I acknowledge, I appreciate. I melt with love. The feeling that each of them is alive and working only so that I can experience the world and this life. They are all mine. I love you, my cell beings. I can feel that there is another flow simultaneously that keeps the cell beings alive. That's the pranic flow. I become aware of the flow of prana through the pranic channels that run alongside the veins and the nerves, the pranavaha nadis. I'm aware of all the 72,000 channels that has been counted through which life force flows in my body as a distinct entity, yet merging together as one with the physical cells, the physical body, my pranic body, my pranic sheath, my pranic being, if I may call it so. I love you, my prana, for keeping me alive. My body, my prana. I found you when I came on earth. You support me, you carry me, you make me alive till it would be my time to go. I promise I'll take best care of you, best. And I'm aware of an entity yet subtler than the prana, my mind. I'm aware of the ripples of thoughts that rise and fall in my mind. As I look closely, I find my mind everywhere, as if I am immersed in my mind, as if my body and my prana are immersed in my mind. And my mind flows throughout my body, through the mind channels known as Manovaha Nadis. These channels are flowing alongside the Pranavaha Nadis and the vessels that move the fluids. All this network of channels I am aware of. They intertwine, they are interwoven, they are all working together. And this mind is ancient. It has been with me through lifetimes. And even when I will exit from this body, this mind shall travel with me. Oh, my mind, I promise not to torment you. Oh, my mind, be filled with beautiful, benefic, blessed, blissful intentions, resolves, thoughts. Tanme manaha Shiva Sankalpamastu. Tanme manaha Shiva Sankalpam astu. Tanme manaha Shiva Sankalpam astu. Oh, my mind, I love you. I am becoming aware of a more subtle, much more intense presence, the faculty of intellect, buddhi. All the information that flows through my mind are finally laid in front of my buddhi, the quiet, very shy entity It is luminous. Oh my Buddhi, oh my Vijnana, I see you. I recognize you. I promise to listen to you. I love you. May you be made brighter, stronger. May you lead me unto light. May you be led unto light. Dhiyo yona prachodayat. I discover something subtler, a subtle, subtle space from where impulses arise. Actually, there is only one impulse. That impulse is to be happy. I have only one impulse. I want to be happy. This I appreciate, I recognize as the most fundamental space which made me take up my mind, which impelled me to get a body for myself, and which guides me day upon day, night upon night, to be happy. I am so happy to find the impulse and the space of happiness pulsing deep within me. I promise to be always happy. I am aware of all the 5 layers that constitutes what I think I am. I am aware of all the 5 layers that constitutes the pot that I am, that I think I am. The physical sheath, the pranic sheath, the mind sheath, the intellect sheath, and the joy sheath. Who is it? Who is observing all the 5 sheaths? It's me. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Shivoham. I wear these 5 sheaths. I'm aware of a flow of energy that passes through this pot. I can see at once a channel of light passing from the crown of my head to the perineum, to the end of my spine. And at the center of the pot, in the space, in the infinite space at the center, near the space where my heart is, I find the presence of my Ishta. I find the shining presence of Ishvara. I am in his presence. My heart wells up with love for all the grace I'm blessed with. I'm aware of my root chakra, right at the perineum. There, I am taking the cognition of the earth, the whole of Mother Earth. I invoke the presence of earth, the first feel of earth is of acceptance. I accept all people, all circumstances in my life as they are in deep gratitude. For those with whom I have felt hurt, I forgive them. For those whom I may have hurt, I seek forgiveness. From the root chakra, I take some earth in my hands. I can clearly see forgiveness written on that piece of clay. It takes a shape of a beautiful fruit. Forgiveness engraved on it. I carry it to my heart. Place it at the feet of my Ishvara as my offering. I gently move up a little bit from the root chakra to the second chakra, the sacral chakra, at my pubis. I experience water. I experience wetness. I experience rasa, the essence, the nectar. What is the rasa of life? Love. I gather some water from that lake on the vessel. I clearly see inscribed love. I clearly see these words on that vessel. I carry this water to the shrine in my heart chakra. Place it at the feet of my Ishvara. I arrive in the region of my navel. I'm aware of a blazing fire. I recognize this fire in my own body, the metabolic fire that keeps me alive, that keeps my body warm, that keeps me alive. The day I leave, this fire shall be no more, and my body shall turn cold. I'm aware of the presence of fire. This fire, I recognize, has a quality of equality. If I put wood in it, or paper, or clothing, or metal, each and everything shall turn into ashes in the presence of this fire. This fire, I recognize light in it, warmth in it. From this fire, in the space of my navel, I light up a lamp. On that lamp is written, "May I become a lamp." Apo Deepo Bhava. This lamp I carry to my heart shrine, place it at the feet of my Ishta, Ishvara. There is a fruit, and I can see the words forgiveness kept there. And there is a vessel of water with the words love. And the lamp is shining bright, written, I am the lamp. Apo Deepo Bhava. I stay in the shrine of my heart center, in the heart. I recognize the wind element, the wind that flows as prana in my body. The very same wind that gives me life, gives life to each and every being, every living being. This wind I recognize the quality of being a giver. I light an incense here. And as I wave the incense to my Ishvara, the fragrant fumes that arise give rise to the letters which form into a word, giver. Like the wind, like the prana, I am a giver. I move almost floating above to the region of my throat. I'm aware I'm in the sky, the vast, infinite sky. I look down below and I can see myself meditating. I can see all the elements, all the people, all the places, all the events. I witness all emotions, all experiences, all feelings. I witness the rainfall of tears. But I am untouched. The sky doesn't get wet with the rain. It doesn't burn with the burst of a volcano. I am like the sky, unaddressed, asanga, pure witnessing. I wave my hand and my hands and my hand comes back to me with a flower, a beautiful flower. And on the flower, I see the words, asanga, unadhesed, unadhesive, asanga. I see this clearly on the flower. I flow down into my heart and place this beautiful flower at the feet of my Lord. I am a Sangha. I am untouched like the sky. I am a witness. I can witness as the life passes by. I ascend a bit more, arrive into the region between my eyebrows. As I approach that space of the third eye, my third eye opens and I can see myself. I am in presence of my own higher self. The pot is in the presence of clay. I see the pot and the clay together. I'm in full awareness. I shall now prepare to step out into the world. Om. 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 I shall keep my eyes closed, bring my hands together and rub them. Generate some heat in the palms. Make a cup of it and place it over your closed eyes. Feel the heat. See if there are any images that are forming in the darkness of your palm. Very gently blink your eyes. Open them in the closed palms. Touch your whole face with your palm and your whole body and bless yourself. This is a short practice. If you have any questions, please ask. I'll be happy. Or anything to add to it. Urvesh Bhai and Nivaji, you can add some seed syllables when you are touching upon the elements. You can repeat that at that point. Urvesh Bhai, you share.
This is exactly similar one which I used to do at my workplace. And I used to take the sessions over that. But you've gone much more deeper into it with all the this, with all the powers of each, as we discussed. So that is extremely good.
And personally, when you will do it by yourself, you'll be able to go even deeper. It will be your language, your conversation. You will stay with an element for as long as you wish to. But the five koshas, to take a cognition of that, the five elements, the six chakras, only this much on a daily basis, when you take a cognizance of it, the witnessing self will become a distinct witness of everything that happens in this reality.
Why are we not touching Sahasrara?
Hmm?
Why are we not touching Sahasrara, the seventh?
I'm sorry, why are we not?
Touching
Why are we not
Sahasrara.
touching Sahasrara? Yes. Purposely, it is enough for meditation.
Till here.
We will see, if you pause at this, at the Agya, just pause and relax for some time. You will find your own pull towards Sahasrara. We don't need to force ourselves to visit here in this particular case. You're right. Just the six. This is part one. Then if you were to build a part two to it, we'll try to do it next time. A shorter part two will be shorter than part one, but then together can become a one.
Will we be descending in the part two?
Will descend, yes. But there is no secret. We have done it many times. Descending Om Namah Shivaya. After this, we descend with Om Namah Shivaya. All the five Om and the five syllables on the five chakras. We do it a couple of times. Then we turn it around and we begin to ascend with Sita Ram. Si at the Muladhara, then Sitaram, and then finally arrive into only Ram from heart upwards. Maybe 3-4 minutes, 5 minutes. But when all of this is done together, you do feel a sense of deep calm at the end of it. So, Agnes, was it too much for you in the first instance?
Yes, it was in some stages. Yeah, I could feel like even that I also reached like my third eye, the sixth chakra, because then I had also like kind of visions. I was seeing things, and I could really let at some points like let go. I just I didn't know where I was. That was very good. And I have a question. Like, do you have a recording? Yeah, did you
Yeah, this
ever
is
do
all
a
getting recorded on the YouTube. You'll
It
find
is
it
okay.
exactly.
So we can practice, yes, because it
In
was very
practice,
good. Hmm?
the important variation that I have introduced here purposely is to see the words forgiveness or any quality, actually see it written. It is important to invoke that particular quality and carry it and carry it and offer the one quality. It could be that, it could be stillness, it could be anything from the earth, anything from the fire. Suppose, Urvesh bhai, when you're doing so much of practices, then from fire you'll pick up tapas maybe, to get a deeper grounding in tapas. So similarly, what quality you pick up, put that in that particular element and place it at the feet of the Lord. But here, it is important to have a good idea of who that God is, some idea. So if you feel it is like a shining light, then you invoke like a shining light. Give it a name. You call it God, no problem. You can call it Jesus, no problem. You can call it by name Shiva or Kali or Ma or Hanuman or Hanumat or anything, but call it by a name. It would then give it a quality of that name. So every day you invoke that Supreme Being by that name. And over a period of time, an intimacy develops when you call somebody, hey man, come here, and you call Urvesh bhai, come here. There are two different levels of intimacy. So calling by a name, and you can, if you don't like any name, just call him by any name that you would want to give. You can also give a name to God. Any name, any form, any way, but that should become more or less the fixed invocatory uh, visualization. What we are doing here is not imagination, it is visualization.
Visualize.
So there's a subtle difference between these two. But we have overshot our time. Sorry about that. Let's have a great afternoon and a great evening ahead.
Thank you.
Any other question from anybody? Please feel free to shoot. Otherwise, we close the